Diagnosing and fixing engine squeal. Engine squeal is one of the most common symptoms of problems with your engine. And it can be really annoying, and it really tells everybody else you don't care about your car when you're driving along and it makes that squealy noise, especially when it starts or pulls out of a stop sign or pulls out of the parking lot. You hear that, and you just think, yeah, that person's driving a total junker. It doesn't matter what the car is, how long you've had it, it screams something's wrong and that you don't care enough to get it fixed. So how do you figure out what it is that's broken, and how do you fix it? The V-Cross engine squeals right now when you start it up and when you turn the steering wheel or when you engage the air conditioner. Now, these are the symptoms that you need to know in order to properly diagnose what's going on. You need to know when the squeal occurs and can you make it occur. So, lots of causes will cause you to have the squeal when you start. That can be a belt slipping, that can be that your belt is worn, it can be that a pulley's out of line, it can be a number of things. But the telltale for what's wrong with my particular problem is that it kicks on when I put the engine under load. This means that it is not a bearing in something like the water pump bearing, which is a very common cause of squeal. The water pump has a bearing that goes out and it starts to squeal. Same with the air conditioner. If it only squealed when I kicked on the air conditioner, it's more likely that it's something with the air conditioning condenser that's driven off of the pulleys. In this case, it squeals any time I put a little bit of extra load on. And that's because it's the harmonic balancer. The harmonic balancer is a very common cause of engine squeal and is pretty easy to fix. A harmonic balancer is basically a very, very limited slip clutch. So how it works is the engine is driving, and in order to take some of the vibration out of the belts from the various different things that are being driven off of that belt, there's a little bit of slip in a clutch system. And when that clutch slips just a little bit, it takes the vibration out. So when the engine's a little ahead, it slips a little. When the engine's a little behind, it slips a little, so that when you speed up and slow down the engine revs, the rest of the things that are driven off of that pulley don't feel all of the vibration at once, or when they put load on the engine at different intervals, the engine doesn't feel it. And so it keeps everything running much more smoothly and doesn't have that rough idle and a lot of things. But when it starts to slip, you hear that and that's it slipping a lot every time. And so the two parts of the pulley are driven at different speeds. So I'll move the camera over so you can see where the harmonic balancer is on this car. On the V-Cross, this is the harmonic balancer, and you can see that there is this sheathing in between two bits of metal. And how the harmonic balancer works is that this piece and this inner piece don't have to spin at quite the same speed because of this bit of rubber buffer. And when you start to get cracks in it, like I've got down here, it can wobble. So you see this crack down here. This is a crack in the sheathing along the harmonic balancer. And when you're hearing that slip sound, that's because this metal piece and this metal piece are moving at different speeds. And this bit of rubber sheathing that has failed is talking to us and making that squealing noise. So I have to get that fixed. And this is about a $150 part and will require a puller in order to do it. So I'm actually going to have the Pep Boys do it because it's in an awkward spot. I don't really want to deal with it, and it'll just be easier to have them do it than me do it myself. So that's what it is, and that's how you fix it.